The fastest UFC title defense ever by submission.
Forget submission, by anything.
Anything?
Anything. You guys, I was backstage with Ronda and the rest of the crew in the locker room, and I said to Coach Edmund, I said, Coach, in between rounds, would you like me to take the ice pack and put it on Ronda's neck to help her cool down? And he said, yeah. And then he went like this, no, she doesn't like ice. And then he looked at me and he said, Henner, it's not going to the second round.
And he was right.
So it was a very fun event, very exciting event at Staples Center here in Los Angeles, our hometown. Worked out perfectly for us. I got to go there and be with Ronda and the crew, and we went 2 for 3 for Gracie Academy students, family members, brothers, sisters. Unfortunately, Mark Munoz wasn't able to get the win. He was choked, rear naked choke, and as much as we were saddened that he lost, you know, we're always happy to see jiu-jitsu being used in the UFC. It was a beautiful choke. It was very nice.
I'm sure even he was grateful that it was a choke and not, you know, an injury.
Yeah, absolutely. Jake Ellenberger got a beautiful submission over Josh Koscheck. A very important win, we think, for his career, and definitely a big confidence booster. And some people were very confused by that, so we'd like to talk about that. Then we'll talk about Ronda's spectacular 14-second submission victory. So with Jake and Josh, what happened was first round, good exchanges. No one was able to seal the deal. Second round, gets to the point where they're against the cage, and Josh is shooting in on Jake's legs right here. And I was able to talk to him after the fact back in the locker room. And he was like, man, Henner, he was holding me, but he wasn't even trying to take me down.
Yeah.
You know how it is.
He was just trying not to get punched in the face.
Right.
Because I can feel like Jake, he was back.
Yes.
Right? When it came to his hands, I think he was back. I could see it. So Josh is trying to be safe.
Boom, and he was in the position where he was kind of pinning Jake against the fence right here, and he was very bent over, right? And that's when Jake was like, man, he's very horizontal. And even though his head was on this side of the body, where you typically would think of this as a guillotine situation, there's another option here that is such an amazing technique that's being used a lot lately, which is the idea of taking the wrong arm, so to speak, across the neck, and then locking your own bicep right here. This is very common when someone has a single leg like hugged up because their head's to the inside and they can get wrapped up right here. And now I don't care where we land, he's gonna get choked out right now. It's a very dangerous situation. So he locked this, what I call front naked choke, and then he went down. That's when Josh sat through.
I feel like Josh would have liked to have sat in a manner that his head came out.
Yes.
But Jake doesn't go for it unless he's gonna go for it.
Yes.
And this is his first submission?
This is his first, I don't know about in submission in general.
It's his first submission in the UFC.
I don't know if I would say that.
Okay, well, it's one of his first ones. It's very few. But when Jake goes for this, like the lock, go ahead, squeeze. Like squeeze right here. Yeah, I want to tap right there.
Because my armpit and chest are holding his head down and the hands are locked into place. So freeze. So when Josh sat through, Jake's head hit the ground. Boom. He actually kind of spiked him right there. And then he rotated. It almost became like a north-south choke here. Boom. And then he just kind of kept the pressure, and it went. Okay, and the hands were very interesting because one side was plugged by the bicep, the other hand was fist inside the artery right here. You saw Jake's glove penetrating in the neck, and then he would steer pressure, and he got up and started driving pressure, just squeezing. A very unorthodox north-south choke, but I call it more the front naked choke standing up because even though he ended up in the north-south choke, by the time they landed there, he was already...
Yeah, and it is a choke. Like when I watched it at first time, I thought, oh, there's space or it might hurt Josh's neck. But when Henner got me in it, in 1 second, I'm feeling a choke.
Yeah, especially they were standing up for several seconds before they went down. So like I said, Josh was already in desperation mode before they hit the ground. Because you could tell by the way he was flailing, and then he tapped.
Amazing.
And then we get to our spectacular title defense from our friend Ronda. Man, it's crazy. So I'm over there, you know how it is. Hold the banner, right? They show, hey, Ronda, hey, the fight starts. You rip the banner out of the cage, and then you have to go down and find your seat. And when you're in the corner, you know how it is. There's 3 benches, 2 benches. But we have Jean LaBelle, we have 4 coaches. So there's not even a bench for everybody. So we're getting situated in the corner. And I let Jean sit in my bench in one of the little stools. And I got a hoodie, and I put it on the ground. And I'm positioning my knee on the hoodie to get like a nice little, because I'm gonna be by myself. I don't have like a seat in the corner. I'm just low, plus I'm the tallest one, so I'm looking like this. By the time I situated my knee, the fight was over. And you said this about the last one when she fought.
Well, if you would imagine if you would have folded the banner like folded it
Yeah,
up.
yeah.
You would have missed
No,
everything.
I would have missed the celebration.
You would have gotten back, but Joe would have been already speaking to her. So let's get to the fight.
Crazy. So what happened was, it was crazy. They called it. Ronda said it after the fight. She expected Cat to come out guns blazing, and she was right. So Cat came out, threw a big right knee. It missed completely because Ronda sidestepped. Ronda came out, and she was circling left. So the knee missed, and they ended up in this situation where Cat got an underhook, and Ronda had the headlock right here. Okay, back up. So from here, it was where Cat had the inside position. Now, in all situations against most people, this is an advantage right here, right? She has the underhook, she has the inside hip, so she can throw, and she did. So she threw her down right here. Go ahead, go down to your knees here. Boom. When they hit, Ronda's hand was underhooked. They both ended up like this. Boom. But that's when Ronda did the cartwheel, and now the neck crank. Boom. She went. Go under her back door.
Yeah, Cat brought the arm out to roll.
Yes. Yeah, start to build the house, post it up. At this point, that's when Cat let go of the arm, put her elbow on the ground. That's when Ronda's foot came around. Boom. And then right here, it was over. One more time. Over here. Yeah, so the knee comes in, misses, boom. Over, under. Cat has the underhook. She throws, so she does initiate the takedown on Ronda. The problem is she goes down, Ronda's able to go, boom. And that's where the underhook became the disadvantage, if that makes sense. Go to your knees.
Yeah.
This moment right here, where Ronda did the cartwheel, landed here on her hips facing the mat, and still had Cat's neck hugged, is where it turned into her advantage. Boom. And then now we ended right here, side control. So it's very quick second. But Cat's so good here that she was able to go out the back door.
She did a good job by bringing this arm under, because she would have been stuck
Yeah,
in the side mount and even a more solid mount.
Right.
But her bringing the arm under, she had the right idea.
And now the thing is this, when you do this back door escape, you need to keep my arm trapped right here, so that when you come out the back, go ahead, I can't, and you want to get on top here and get out. That's what she wanted to have happen. So by holding this arm, it was great. But in practice, what Ronda, after the fight, Ronda said, I've never done that move before. She hasn't done that finish, that actual ending, but what she does do is when you come out the back door here, boom, and then she catches here and she sits back. I felt it 1,000 times. So she does do that move, she just hasn't caught it in the armpit in MMA yet. But she practices this. What was weird about it is at this moment where Cat was coming out and Ronda stepped over beautifully, freeze. This is where Cat was grabbing her neck. And what Cat tried to do, or thought about doing, would be to put this elbow on the ground and pull her head under and start to come on top or get out the back.
Even that would have been disastrous,
Right? She would have ended up here.
Yes.
Let's go back. But the point being was there was a moment of truth. Talk about what goes through your mind. They were there for about what?
It was about 3 seconds I counted where it was a point where this arm
owned it, yeah.
was being trapped.
Yeah.
And while this arm is stuck, you can't release this arm rapidly. You can't secure it.
Can't armbar it, yeah.
Yes. So Cat right now is keeping her arm exposed by holding Ronda's neck. The moment that Cat released this to get up on her elbow to take Ronda down,
Is when Ronda's arm was free for
Yes.
the lacing, yes.
is when Ronda's arm was free, and once the arm is free for the lacing, it's only a matter of seconds before that foot, or one, not even seconds.
right away. So
Right away.
So Cat has a choice to make. Either she prioritizes protecting or building a house and getting up, which would be letting go of this arm, get up on your elbow,
Yes.
doing that and trying to off balance Ronda,
Or
letting go of the neck and just giving her back and going this way.
Which, if you know Ronda, you would probably want to get rear naked choked.
Well, here's the thing though. That's where it gets fuzzy.
Because
Well,
the reflex of most fighters is
Don't
not
give-
to give their back.
Yeah, if you can choose, you scramble and not give a clean back mount at all costs. So she did. So here's the thing. Cat did the right thing.
She did.
Against 99.9999. How many nines should we add to that?
As many as you want.
Got it. Against 99.9 times a million people in the world, Cat did the exact right thing. She opted to try to keep the head and scramble and off balance the person versus letting go of the head and basically protecting her arm at all costs.
Yeah, I mean, she wants the top position, which that's respectable. She
Yes.
wants to control Ronda, whether it be the side mount or the mount, and be on top.
But in making that decision, she knew that her arm was way too far from home during that process. But the thing is, she never expected in a million years that Ronda's hips would gravitate toward the shoulder so effectively.
Yeah.
So it was that moment of truth. Let's go a little more here. So it was this moment of truth right here that for us was the entire fight. Boom, she came under. So Ronda's arm is still trapped. as Cat's doing this backdoor escape, and Ronda can't pull back this arm, right? She's just based out waiting. And it was really Cat's move, like a chess match right here, right? This is where the chess match
And we said it. We said Cat's thinking, keep the head, keep the arm. Keep the head, keep the arm. Keep the head, keep the arm.
Literally 3 seconds and we're thought right here.
But it was so probably slow motion for her in those 3 seconds.
Yeah,
unbelievable.
Very much.
It probably felt like 10 seconds.
You know how, boom, as soon as she posted that, Ronda laced this, and then she brought this foot around, and she laid down right here, boom. And this, my friends, is where it got really bad. Cat's face was turned away from me, like that, and she was like very much feeling the pain, and right here, literally, and what's happening is, rotate me to the camera this way. What's happening here, what makes it so powerful, you guys, is if this arm was in front, its hands, its biceps, holding the hand to your chest, right? You're using your biceps kind of here to keep this in. If this hand is behind, it's your lower back that's breaking their elbow. So you pinch this, you straighten the leg over here, and your hips go through this elbow, so there's so much more leverage. Say, go ahead.
There's more leverage.
Boom. If you would have rolled, you still would have got caught.
Yeah, I'm few right at thought, like, why doesn't she jump or roll or twist? And she had mentioned that her hand was on the leg, and she was trying to kind of push it off.
There's nowhere.
That's only gonna make it tighter.
Cat was very confused by the complexity of the position and for us, the magical moment was that decision Cat had to make. Let go of the arm and get up to build the house, or keep this arm and bring my other hand down. Let's sacrifice the neck hold and hide both arms for safety and give your back in the process. But most fighters are more trained to protect the back mount than to worry about arms floating out in space. You know, but with Ronda, this is not acceptable. This is not acceptable. You can't have an elbow even a few inches from your body. If you guys are ever walking on the street and you see Ronda and you're like, oh, I want to go meet her, I want to go shake her hand. Do not reach out.
Don't, just bow from a distance.
Keep it tight. Now, just to be clear, none of this that Ronda used yesterday, we taught her. People always wonder, what we focus on with Ronda is training and preparation for worst case scenarios. Bottom of the side, bottom of the guard, bottom of whatever position, or get her in a choke, or get her in a triangle. This has happened with Misha. She got caught in a partial triangle setup. She stood up and defended beautifully. So for us, it's all about focusing on when things go wrong, how to survive and prepare for those situations. But this strategy we saw last night was her 100% judo, 15 years of judo, taking people down and taking arms in seconds. And her mom told her, you can't go for the chokehold because a lot of times there's a bias against American judo practitioners, Ronda would tell me, and say, Henry, if I get a choke and it's taking too long, they'll stop the fight and they'll stand you up. So her mom says, Ronda, take the arm because they're gonna scream and it's gonna break so fast that they can't even stand you up. The fight's already over, they don't have a limb anymore to work with. So what's funny is how it's opposite of our grandfather's mindset, which is
there's no time.
Grandfather fought with no time limits, and there was no bias against Eddie Gracie in Brazil. He had all the time he needed to choke guys, and his mindset was someone could hurt their arm and keep fighting, where with the choke, they'd pass out. Everyone goes to sleep. And for a small, weak guy like him, having that leverage against the arteries was most important strategy.
Eddie Gracie is a survival specialist, and Ronda is a finish you specialist. And you said that she mentioned to you that she never used that before.
She's never used that exact ending position, but she catches it all the time in practice from different positions, guard, side mount, mount.
And what that tells you is that it's her adaptive nature, right? No matter where she lands, that she makes something that looks like nothing to the average eye just turn into something in her favor. And whether it's an arm lock, in most cases it is, it can also be chokes or guillotines or,
Every day she's getting better, you guys. Every day we're working them all. It's like
literally she falls into place where you're tapping out.
I've never felt it before. Ronda has like a magnetic block in her hip, and the magnetic block literally loves shoulder blades. And it like just gravitates towards it. And Misha, the last fight with Misha, was another example of that. They fell off the cage, they ended upside down, she flipped out, her hips were there, and suddenly the armbar's in place. So it's amazing, you guys. People always ask after the fight, well, man, it's crazy, it's amazing. And this is, ever since we've been working with Ronda, what's it like working with Ronda? And a lot of times I just stand there and kind of look at him blankly, even though I've been asked a million times, right, as you have, I'm sure. And I just think to myself, man, the very word like, what's it like working with Ronda, means a comparison of two things. But she's incomparable. There is nothing that you can compare Ronda to say it's like that. So how do you describe that?
That's what you just said. You can't.
You can't. Unless you were to split up all of Ronda's attributes: strength, flexibility, tenacity, technique,
adaptability.
Adaptability.
You're gonna lose that person. Yeah.
What are you gonna say? She's amazing at all of them.
And heart, her strongest attribute by far is she wins the fight before she even walks in. She wins the fight the morning in training, she wins the fight way before it actually happens. You know? So if you were to take all the 6 amazing attributes and all the rest, and then you found other individuals who possess 1 or 2 of those attributes, and then you describe those individually, you might, but that takes too long. So at the end of the day, you just say, hey, there's no other Ronda Rousey. There never will be another Ronda Rousey. And we're just honored to be part of here, the history, helping her as best we can to share these little insights of positions that we are more familiar with only because our truth was different, right? Our truth for our grandfather was being in the worst case scenario under a giant, getting smashed on by someone who outweighs you by 100 pounds. And that gives you some abilities from underneath and from bad positions that you may not get from being on top and dominating so athletically and so beautifully at all times. And but if Ronda keeps dominating the way she is, you won't need to see her survival skills that we've been working on with her. Yeah. But it's okay. We still enjoy going to the party. We still enjoy training with her. And it's been amazing.
And everybody wants to know what's next, right? Who can Ronda fight next? And there are some people out there that I'm sure you guys would like to see her fight.
Yeah, we'd love to hear what you have to say.
And that's all fun and everything, but the truth is, my belief is that in the next maybe year or 2, something serious has to happen, something really serious, which means we have to ban Ronda Rousey from the UFC. Like, she needs to not be allowed to fight anymore because we can allow her, not we, I'm not the UFC, but the UFC can allow her to beat like maybe 6 more fighters.
Eventually,
7 more.
Yeah, you don't want that.
But it gets to a point where it's like, okay, stop fighting, stop beating them, and let's just watch a bunch of women fight each other and have some amazing fights that last 2 rounds or 3 rounds, and they're close, and both people catch submissions.
You don't say it, you guys.
Ban her.
That's the only solution for Ronda, is to ban her from the UFC. But that's the deal, you guys. It's crazy. It's unbelievable. Congratulations, Ronda. And what's ironic is that after the fight, Cat said, I want to do it again. I want to do it. I'll do whatever it takes to do it again.
Well, this is what people used to say, like, back in the day. You know what this reminds me of? The disparity between Ronda and all the other fighters that are in her weight in all organizations and so on is as large as it was from Royce to all the other fighters in UFC 1.
It's a big statement.
It reminds me of that.
It's a big statement.
Like, when people watch Royce in UFC 1, it was to the point where like, oh, he's gonna win. He's gonna win. We've already seen him fight. When it came to UFC, like, for example, 2 or 3 or 4, Royce. So it's the same gap.
Yeah. He said it, you guys. That's the disparity. That's the truth. That's the situation. We want to congratulate the winner of the last Gracie giveaway, Marco Villasmil. And for this Gracie, he won the CXT, the Combat X Trainer, which is a grappling dummy / ball. That is ridiculous if you're out in the middle of nowhere and you need to work on your flows and transitions and control. The next Gracie giveaway, we're giving away a thick Grandmaster Eddie Gracie Special Edition electric motorized skateboard, 18 to 20 miles an hour. Off-road, 100% remote controlled with anti-lock brakes in your right hand as you cruise down the street, up the hill, down the hill, off-road, all-terrain.
It sounds like the most dangerous thing in the world.
It's the dopest toy I've ever owned in my entire life, without question.
Like, riding that sounds almost as dangerous as fighting Ronda.
No,
that's what it sounds like.
No, it's basic.
A skateboard that goes 20 miles an hour.
Well, listen, I put my wife on the board. She's basic. She's Gracie combative, simplicity, and she was able to cruise no problem.
And I vouch for that. I agree. I ride it all the time.
Super
and I've not
safe.
fallen or gotten hurt. You have to just be responsible and ride in a safe area, and you'll be good to go.
It's unbelievable.
It's
We partner with Thick Electric Skateboards, which is the #1 electric skateboard company in the U.S. And they've made these amazing special edition boards for our grandfather. And we couldn't be happier, and they're available now 100%. But we want to give one away. Thick wants to give one of these boards away off-road 100%. In order to, I know, it's crazy.
It's amazing.
It's a crazy toy.
I want 2.
So in order to enter to win the drawing for the free Grandmaster Special Edition electric skateboard, go to facebook.com/FICUSA, FIIKUSA, and like their page, and then share the video at the top of their comment section there on your timeline, and then leave a comment here and let us know what you think is next for Ronda.
Yeah, be creative, even if it's like a man. Just say
Dana said it yesterday at the press conference. He says, we'll just put her in the men's division now. Because it's getting to that point. It's getting kind of thin, you guys. It's getting kind of thin.
And I'm sure some men don't want to do that.
Yeah, I would not recommend it. Hidon, you're going to Canada pretty soon.
Next weekend, like in 6 days, I'll be in Ontario, Canada, which is very close to the United States, so you can drive if you live in, I think, Michigan or
Over the
some
East
of those
Coast,
states
yeah.
around there, you could drive up to see me. It'd be great.
Super seminar Hidon's doing over there. Then I'm doing a huge one on May 31st in Seattle, Washington, Upper Northwest. I'm gonna be there for a GST course, cop course. But Sunday, the day before the course, I'm doing 4 seminars in one day, you guys. If you live anywhere within 12 hours driving distance, don't miss it. Get in a car, make a road trip, and pack some energy sandwiches, and we'll see you on the mat in Seattle. Most importantly, we're going to Hawaii June 17th through 24 for the 2015 Gracie Immersion Camp. 1 week in Hawaii, Honolulu, North Shore, Waikiki, staying at an amazing hotel, training every morning, training every night, activities all day. We're all gonna be surfing. Don't tell them the truth.
So many people have never been to Hawaii who live in America.
And if you've never been to Hawaii, there's never...
Well, Hawaii is America also,
Yeah.
but people who live in
On
the
the mainland,
continental
yeah,
states
mainland, yeah.
have not been to Hawaii.
Yeah.
You have to go. Don't go to Fiji. Don't
Yeah,
go to
no.
Tahiti. Don't go to all these
Well, no, because
places.
if you
Go to
if you
Jamaica.
go to these other places, you can't train. There's no academy.
Well, not only that, but stay in America.
Stay in America.
Go to America's Fiji.
Yes,
it's
which
better
is Hawaii.
than these places all around the world.
And we're taking Jiu-Jitsu with us, you guys. Gracie Bullyproof, Women Empowered, Gracie Combatives, Master Cyclists, so all family members training at the same time. It's gonna be the most ridiculous immersion camp of all time. We're going shark diving. We're gonna swim with the sharks. We're gonna hike volcanoes. We're gonna surf. Everyone's gonna surf in Waikiki. It's gonna be ridiculous, you guys. June 17th through 24th, GracieImmersionCamp.com. Save your spot. Trust me, it'll change your life forever. Best family vacation of Jiu-Jitsu anyone could ever think of. All right, much respect. Check out this amazing thick promo video with Lyoto, CM Punk, Hidon, myself, Brian, T-City, Ortega, Halen, all the homies, Mike Safai. Check it out. Much fun. The best toy you will ever own, guaranteed.
Guaranteed.
Today's a super exciting day, you guys. We got our friends from Fix Skateboards coming all the way from Florida, bringing a special shipment. We don't know exactly what's in the boxes, but we know it's supposed to be crazy, you guys. Hey man, what's up, guys? Likewise, thanks for coming out, man. Welcome to the Gracie Academy. Supposedly, we got 5 custom Grandmaster Edition thick Big Daddy skateboards, electric skateboards coming from Florida. And guess what? I got me plus 4 homies ready to ride. So we come out of the academy doors and the boards are all lined up right there, all facing the same direction. And the vision of just jumping on them and just taking over the city was ridiculous. Let's go somewhere already. What are you guys waiting for? We get to the park and just grass and trails and openness. It was unbelievable. We get on the boards, we just start charging all throughout the trails. Off-road, on-road, sometimes kind of half crashing because we're a little too crazy too soon. Instead of going white belt, blue belt, purple belt, brown belt, black belt, we pretty much skipped straight to black belt in terms of the attitude on the boards, and we paid for it a little bit.
Try to get too fancy.
But the best part about these boards is that even people with absolutely no skateboarding experience or people who haven't skateboarded for 20 plus years can get on it, pull the trigger, and cruise nice and slow. My wife Eve gets on the board. She's never skateboarded before in her life, but she jumps on it, pulls the trigger, slow motion, and she's off and cruising, and she's getting more and more comfortable as time goes. Lyoto Machida, no comfort, no stability, very, been 20 plus years since he's been on a skateboard. The guy gets on and is cruising like biggest smile, having a blast. It's easier than a regular skateboard.
Hey guys, I'm Lyoto the Dragon Machida, UFC fighter. I'm a white belt in skateboard, but with this board, I feel like a black belt. It's been a while since I had my first skateboard, maybe 22 years ago. But it's not electric. This is electric skateboards. Easy, fast. You can do whatever, wherever, whenever. Go ahead, my friend.
Hey everybody, this is CM Punk.
avid skateboarder, if you didn't know, longtime Gracie Jiu-Jitsu student. And what I need to tell you is that Fix Skateboards has produced the Big Daddy Helio Gracie Edition skateboard. It's a motorized skateboard and it's amazing. It combines two things I love, Gracie Jiu-Jitsu and skateboarding. And it's put it together. Fix has almost become the Gracie Jiu-Jitsu of the skateboard world, if you will. I always thought skateboarding and Brazilian Gracie Jiu-Jitsu would get me far, but it's never gotten me farther than I've gone today.